Hey guys, welcome back to the Animal Pack YouTube channel. My name is Renee Jewett, and I was fortunate enough last year to compete and earn my IFBB Pro card in the Wellness division. Now, if you are not familiar with the Wellness division, it basically caters to women with a more developed lower half, so quads, glutes, hamstrings, upper body is developed, but not to the same extent as the lower body. As far as conditioning goes, what they want to see is the conditioning that is right on par with the bikini division, which I learned the hard way when I did my first regional show last year, which was in Tampa. I brought excellent conditioning, but I was too conditioned. I ended up winning my class, but going into the overall, I did get scored down because I had glute striations and I had some feathering in my quads, which they do not want to see. So I took that feedback going into my first national show, which was Junior USA's. Didn't quite nail it there, even though I brought the conditioning that they were looking for. I didn't quite nail my posing, I guess. Even though I did my due diligence and had a posing coach, the way that I posed was really big on stage. So even though I don't have this overly developed big upper body, the way that I posed was really flaring out my lats, and it gave me an appearance of being larger on stage than I actually was. So I walked away from Junior USA's with third place, which that wasn't good enough. You know, I wanted to earn my pro card. So a week later, going into North Americans, we adjusted my posing, and there we nailed it. Walked away with my pro card, which I'm really excited. I was really excited to be one of the first, wellness pros, but going into this year, I'm super excited to see what this division develops into, because I think it is such a beautiful division. I mean, who doesn't like develop glutes and legs, right? I mean, I do. Anyways, I'm really excited to see what the pro league, what this division brings to the pro league, and I'm excited to see this division on the Olympia stage at the end of the year, which hopefully, guys, I will be there. So as far as training goes, there is a very, very heavy emphasis on glutes for my training. I'm hitting lower body about 4 times in a 7-day period. It's a 7-day period, but it kind of rotates, so I'll either hit lower body 4 times throughout a 7-day period, or 3 times. It just depends on how it rotates. I have to look at my training log, because even though I just did this workout, I can't remember it. So if you're not logging your workouts, start logging, because it gives you a great insight into the big picture. Because, you know, some weeks your PRs will be abundant, and some weeks your PR or your lifts in general will take a nosedive. So if you can look at the big picture of your lifts, see what you're progressing on, see what lifts have maybe you've stalled out on and need to be switched out for maybe something else, it's a great way to do that. So if you're not logging your lifts, do it. So for this workout, for all of my workouts, I actually like to start with some type of glute activation. So for this workout, it was the standing cable abduction. Now I do 3 sets here, 15 to 20 reps. And these reps, guys, I'm not just going through the motion and just doing, pump work. That's not what I'm doing. I'm hitting 15 to 20 reps, but they are a hard 15 to 20 reps with a heavy load. And I am doing... You should try to do, how do I want to say this? You want to do it until your form breaks. So that's what your last rep should look like, your first rep, but your last rep should be really, really hard without your form breaking. And that's what I do here. So when you're looking at a training program, especially if you're looking for growth, you don't want the bulk of your training program to be fluff work. You don't want to do, especially, when you're trying to grow glutes, hamstrings, entire lower body, you're going to have these really hard compound movements for the bulk of your workout. So even though, you don't want isolation movements and band movements and body weight stuff for the bulk of your workout, they do have their place in a training program. You just don't want it to consume the bulk of it. So from my glute activation, I moved into my first compound movement, which was the glute drive, and I love this machine. I used to do barbell glute drive off of the floor with just, a pad, lap pad, and then the bar on the ground, which was kind of a pain. So I'm really glad that our gym got the glute drive. And I progressed really great on this. I think when I first started doing it, I was only doing like a plate on each side, like 90 pounds. And I have progressed up to 450. And my rep range on this is 8 to 10 for my first work set. So that's a really awesome progression. Now, I made some improvements on this workout compared to last week. I got 1 extra rep on my first work set, but then on my back off sets, the lap pad ended up slipping a little bit. If you don't have this pad set right, it will slip a little bit and start digging into you, which makes it kind of difficult to complete your reps, and that's what happened to me. So I actually ended up dropping off on 1 rep here compared to last week, and I only got 9, which I was really frustrated by because I really think I could have gotten like 2 or 3 more reps. But I didn't want to redo this set just because it was already highly fatiguing, and my next movement was going to be a squat pattern. So moving from the glute drive, I did move into my Smith squats, and I know a lot of people like to talk crap on doing squats in the Smith machine, but it works for me. I get great glute engagement staying in that lock position in the squat machine. It takes load off of my lower back, so that's why I do it. It works for me. If you don't do Smith squats and you don't want to do it, then you don't have to, but it works for me. So going into here, I did make some really good improvements. I got 1 more rep than I did last week. My first top set was 210, and I got that for 9. And then for my back off set, I decided to use my little 1 1/4 plate that I got off of Amazon. And this just added on just a little bit more weight instead of just throwing on 5s. So I did 192.5, and I actually ended up getting 2 more reps than I did last time. So a little bit heavier at 192.5 compared to my 190 last week, and I got 2 more reps, so that was actually a really great progression. Now moving from the Smith squat, I go into my more isolation pump work because it does have its place in a training program. It just shouldn't consume the entirety of it. So from my Smith squat, I moved into reverse hyper, and I will put a band around my legs to cue myself to drive my legs out while I'm going through the movements, so I can really keep my glutes engaged. And this is a really great movement for that glute med. I feel it a lot there. Now, this is more isolation pump work, which I will keep at the end of my workout so it doesn't impede my main compound movements. Because again, banded movements, isolation movement, they do have their place in a training program, but not for the entirety of it. If you really want to grow, you need those big compound movements. So going into the reverse hyper, I do 3 sets here. My rep range is 12 to 15. And then I have one more isolation movement. I move into my lying hamstring curl. I do 3 sets here. Rep range is, first set is 8 to 12, second is 10 to 12, and then last is 12 to 15. And by the time I am done with this, I have a gnarly hamstring pump, which hamstring pumps aren't as fun as glute or quad pumps. They just feel like your leg is about to cramp, and it's not the funnest thing in the world. If you guys have absolutely any questions, or if you want to see something specific, nutrition training, whatever it is, please let me know. Leave your comments below and I will be happy to get back to you. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to do a lot more of these videos, and hopefully I'll get better at them. Anyways, I will see you guys next time. Bye.